Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. This is part 3 of our DataWeave series, and in this video we're going to discuss composite types. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any notifications and entertaining videos like this from us. So let's get started. In DataWeave, a composite type refers to a data type that combines multiple values or properties into a single structure. A composite type contains other values. The composite types in DataWeave are array, object, and functions. Composite type in DataWeave basically provides flexibility and versatility when working with complex data structures. You can access, manipulate, and transform data within composite types using various DataWeave functions and operators, which we will be discussing in the later video. So the first composite data type is array. An array is a collection of items of the same data type. The type array, in which T is a type parameter that defines the type of the elements inside the array. In the image below, you can see that I have defined a variable university, which is of type array string. And in the variable, I have defined 4 universities. And if you can see, the type of university is array, and it contains the values of similar data type, which means that we have strings only, no number, no integer. So arrays are enclosed in square brackets and can have multiple elements separated by commas. So let's move forward. Objects. An object is also a collection of items but without any constraints, meaning you can have multiple data types in an object, and you can define object in 2 ways, either by simply typing a keyword called object or with curly braces. Object type can be either closed or open objects. You can think of an object as a dictionary or a map in other programming languages. For example, we use dictionary in Python. So the concept is pretty similar in DataWeave as well. We declare key value pairs in object. So let's talk about closed and open objects. A closed object accepts an object value only if there are no fields except the key value pair specified by the type. And an open object only puts constraints on the fields that are declared in the type, and if they are all verified, then the type accepts the value. So what do I mean by that? So if you can see the image on the right, so I've declared 2 variables, user and user2. User is an open object, whereas user2 is a closed object. As you can see in user, I've declared a first name and a last name with both of string type. But if you see, I have also added age as another key value pair. Whereas in user2, which is a closed object, I can only define first name and last name. If I try to define another key value pair, it will throw me an error, which I will show you in the demo. And the last composite data type is functions. As you know, DataWeave is a function programming language, and functions are fundamental components in DataWeave that allow you to perform transformations, computations, and other operations on data. Functions in data type can be either built-in functions provided by DataWeave language itself, or custom functions defined by the user. So in the image down below, you can see that I have used a function called upper, which is basically converting the string in uppercase. As you can see in the output, the value that I received is in uppercase. So those are 3 composite data types. So now let's head to a demo where I'll show you how to define array. I will show closed and open objects, and I will also show custom and inbuilt functions. So let's jump into the demo. So for the demo, as you know, the very first step we do is we go to DataWeave Playground, which is a playground provided by MuleSoft exclusively for testing and writing your DataWeave code. So the very first composite data type that I will cover is array. So defining an array is pretty easy. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a variable called university, which will be array of string, meaning it will only contain string values. So to do that, I simply type var, which is a reserved keyword in DataWeave, which means that I'm defining a variable and I need to give a name for this variable. The name will be university. So this will be an array, right, of string type. And now I will put in the values. So to define an array, you need to put the values in square brackets. That is very important. So the first university that I will put will be my university, which is McGill. And let's say I put another university, UOT, which means University of Toronto. And I'll put one more, Queens. Sorry. Oh. Queens. So this is how you can define an array. It's pretty straightforward. So what I'll do, I will like to call this variable in my code. So as you know, that DataWeave auto populates for you, and I'll hit enter. And here in the payload on the right, you can see the university variable with the values, McGill, University of Toronto, and Queens. I would like to see the type of this variable. So to see the type of this variable, it's pretty straightforward. You need to use a reserved keyword called typeof. So as you can see, so this is typeof, and in the round brackets, I'll put the name of my variable, which is university. And it will show you that the type of university variable is array. So it's pretty straightforward to define an array. You just need to put the values in square bracket. And if you want to make sure that your array is of a particular data type, you need to define it like this and put in the data type just like I did. So moving forward to object, let me clear this. So as I showed you in these slides, object can be of two types, closed objects and open objects. So first I'll show you guys how you can declare an open object. So what I'll do, I'll create another variable called person. And in here, to define an object, you need to put curly braces. You can't put square brackets. So as you know, an object contains key value pairs. So my first key would be name. And the value I'll put between two mules. The age will be my second key, and the value I'll put just my age, which is 27. Thus I'm a bit old now. And the third key would be email, which will be our email address, which is getsetmule@gmail.com. If you guys have any inquiries about MuleSoft or DataWeave, please feel free to reach out to us on this email, getsetmule@gmail.com. And now I would like to see this variable. I'll call this variable by simply typing the variable name person. As you can see on the right, we have the person variable with the three key value pairs, name, age, and email. So to get the name, let's say I would like to get the name only from person object. I simply need to put a dot, and now I get the keys present in that particular object. So I'll just simply get the name. And if I do that, as you can see on the right, I will get the value of that particular key. One thing I forgot to mention about array, for array, if you would like to get a particular value, you need to provide the index of that particular value. Let's say I have another variable a, which is an array. And in array, I have, let's say, a string called a, then another number 1, and then another string, which is between two mule. And if I would like to retrieve this variable, I simply need to type a, right? But if I would like to get the value which is between two mule, I need to put in the index of that value. So as you know, in DataWeave, the index starts from 0. So it will be 0, 1, 2. So on 2 we'll have between 2 mules. So I'll put in 2, and as you can see on the right, we get between 2 mules. Moving forward with closed objects, as you know, closed objects have a fixed set of known properties or keys, as you can say. Once defined, you cannot add or remove properties from a closed object. Closed objects are pretty similar to traditional objects in other programming languages. So let me define a closed object for you. So I'll create another variable called person2. Here, I'll define the object and the key value pairs that it can take. So to define a closed object, you need to put 2 lines, and you need to define the keys within these 2 lines. So my first key would be name, which will be of type string. And my second, let's say, field would be age, or key would be age, which will be of type, let's say, number. Let me put a space here. And now I'm defining a key value pair. So the first key is name. As you can see, I have defined already. And name will be between 2 mules. And let's say the age would be, I'll just go with my age, which is 27. And if I try to call this person dot name, oh sorry, it's a number, right? Age. So if I try to call person2.name, I'll get the name, which is between 2 mules that I have defined, right? Let's say I would like to add another key value pair. If I try to do that, let's say I try to define email, and which is of type string, get set mule at gmail.com. As you can see on the right, I got an error, and the error says property email was not defined in the closed object. So that's how you can differentiate between a closed object and an open object. So let's say I remove the 2 lines, and as you can see on the right, the error just got removed because now it's an open object. You can add more key value pairs to it. So that's a big differentiation between a closed and an open object. Coming to our last composite data type, which is function, which is very essential in DataWeave. As you know, DataWeave is a functional programming language. So I'll show you guys an inbuilt function, as well as I will show you guys how you can create a custom function. So on the left, I have already defined a payload. So this is an object. The key is message and the value is hello world. So in my script, if I just write payload.message, I'll see the value, right, which is hello world. So now I'm going to use an inbuilt DataWeave function. The keyword is upper, which I'm pretty sure all of you are familiar what upper is. It will basically convert the case of the string into uppercase, right? So if I define that, I need to put the value in round brackets. As you can see on the right, now the string is in uppercase. So that's an inbuilt function in DataWeave. If you want to see the list of inbuilt functions, I would recommend you guys to go and see the DataWeave documentation. I'm pretty sure you'll find all the inbuilt functions. So now coming to custom functions, how you can declare them. So there is another reserved keyword, which is known as fun, F-U-N. So if you say fun, it knows that it's a reserved keyword, and now I need to give the name of my custom function. I'll create a pretty basic custom function. The name would be square, and it will take one parameter, num. So it will basically square the number, right? And I'll just do num multiply num, means that it will give me the square of whatever I put in the parameter, right? So I'll call this function square, and in the bracket I'll put, let's say 5. So as you can see on the right, you will get 25, right? So this is how you can build a custom function. This is pretty basic. If you guys would like us to go in details on how you can build more complex functions, we can definitely do that for you. Please let us know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that it keeps us motivated to record more videos for you guys. So for this video, I'm just gonna stop here. We have discussed the 3 composite data types, which are arrays, objects, and functions. In the next video, we're gonna cover complex data types. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching.